What did I do wrong? Is there any negative feedback? Anything you'd improve upon? No, you met all this criteria really well.
This creator's making a really important point here. It might be done in a jokey format, but it's something we need to discuss. So the creator is making the point that you could submit a really good piece of work at university and you're awarded a low first or a high 2-1. And for context, this is what the grades would be in the UK. But then there's very little negative feedback, very little points for improvement. So how do you go about getting an even better first, an even higher grade, if there's not really much feedback on how you can improve? I'm a senior lecturer in forensic psychology and the deputy programme director of the Masters in Forensic Psychology, but I do have experience of marking assignments all the way from foundation year up until master's qualifications. Not to mention that I have been a student 4 times, so my undergraduate, my master's, my PhD and my PG cert. So at this point, I am very familiar with both giving and receiving feedback. And it can be incredibly frustrating when you're not given the explicit points on how to improve. All the modules that I mark across, I will make sure that I talk to my marking team, if it's not just myself that's marking all of the pieces of work, to make sure that they're giving good quality feedback regardless of whether you've got a good first or whether you failed the assignment. The student deserves a good quality, positive and areas for improvement feedback regardless of what your assignment is. Universities really should be using like a marking rubric or an assessment guidance, which should be in any module guides or any program guides. And this rubric will usually be presented as like a table, and it will tell you like different components of the assignment and how you can like align your piece of work to fit with that particular grade boundary. So what I would say to you is, if you're not receiving feedback on how you can improve, but you've got a grade that's a good first, but you still want to know how you can get an even better first, is to speak to the module leader in the first instance. And I will say that marking is down to academic judgment, so you can't just appeal a grade because you think you should have got a better grade or because you didn't get feedback, but you are entitled to that feedback. And if you're not getting that, you can take it to your students' union, you can speak to the head of school, or you can bring it up through your student rep in what's sometimes referred to as staff-student liaison committees. Academic staff members will attend these committees, and if you're asking for better feedback to be provided, that's something that they have to look into. Courses also have external examiners, and it's their job to look through the feedback and make sure that it's been provided at a good quality regardless of whether it is negative or positive feedback. So I would say that if you're a student who's not satisfied, speak to the module lead, then go to the programme director or programme leader, head of school, your student rep, potentially even your students' union. But it is important that we're providing a good quality feedback to all students regardless of what your grade is. So if you are having a hard time with this, or you're not receiving feedback on how you can improve, those are the people that you can speak to, and I hope this was helpful.